For decades, tension between Israel and Iran was building beneath the surface. Quiet, dangerous, and inevitable. The hostility dates back to 1979, when Iran's new leadership openly opposed Israel's existence. Over the years, this political rivalry transformed into a strategic confrontation. Israel viewed Iran as its most serious threat, mainly because of Iran's expanding missile program and its controversial nuclear development. Iran insisted its nuclear program was peaceful. Israel believed otherwise. Throughout the 2010s and early 2020s, both nations fought what analysts called a shadow war. There were cyber attacks, mysterious explosions at military sites, assassinations of scientists, and airstrikes in Syria. But despite the tension, both sides avoided direct, full-scale war. Until 2026, by late 2025, intelligence reports suggested Iran had significantly advanced its uranium enrichment. Israeli leaders feared Iran was approaching what they called a point of no return, the stage where nuclear weapon capability could become achievable. At the same time, Iran had strengthened alliances with regional armed groups hostile to Israel. Israeli officials began warning that waiting any longer would be too risky. Then came February 28, 2026. In a dramatic overnight operation, Israel launched large-scale airstrikes on key Iranian military and nuclear facilities. Advanced fighter jets targeted missile production sites and enrichment centers. The objective was clear: weaken Iran's strategic capabilities before they became irreversible. The strikes were swift and calculated, but highly provocative. Within hours, images of damaged facilities and rising smoke filled global news networks. Governments worldwide urged restraint. Markets reacted instantly. Oil prices climbed. Airlines rerouted flights across the Middle East. Iran responded within days. Ballistic missiles and long-range drones were launched toward Israeli territory. Air defense systems intercepted many of them, but several reached their targets, causing damage and civilian fear. Warning sirens echoed across cities as people rushed into shelters. What had been a shadow conflict was now open warfare. But the confrontation did not stop at direct strikes. Iran's regional allies began launching rockets toward Israeli borders. Israel retaliated with further air operations. The conflict expanded beyond two nations and threatened to destabilize the wider region. Global powers became involved diplomatically. Emergency meetings were held at the United Nations. Some countries supported Israel's right to defend itself. Others condemned the strikes as dangerous escalation. Meanwhile, ordinary civilians paid the price. Families faced displacement. Infrastructure suffered damage. Hospitals struggled to manage casualties. Social media amplified both real footage and misinformation, adding confusion to fear. Why did it escalate this far? Experts point to three core reasons. First, the nuclear issue. Israel sees a nuclear-capable Iran as an existential threat. Second, regional power competition. Iran's growing influence through allied groups created a strategic encirclement concern for Israel. Third, decades of mistrust. Years of covert conflict meant neither side believed the other's promises. As weeks passed, back-channel diplomacy quietly continued. Neither country appeared eager for a prolonged, devastating war. But neither wanted to show weakness either. Military analysts warned that if escalation continued, other global powers might be drawn in. The possibility of a broader international crisis remained a serious concern. The 2026 war did not begin suddenly. It was the result of years of rivalry, fear, and strategic calculation. When the spark finally came, the explosion was inevitable. Now the world watches carefully, hoping diplomacy can succeed before the fire spreads further.